your area of focus today?
Well, actually, we did we had yesterday off, so we scrimmaged. Guys did a good job. The bigger part off the film was the defense. And whether it was that offensively we played well in the first half, and we were scoring, and they're hard to guard, but we didn't defend them at all in the first half. And then we came out in the third quarter. And we shot ourselves in the foot with our shot selection, quite frankly, and then it kind of snowballed on us.
Is that shocking, the defense, because you've been able to rely on your defense? You've been solid.
Well, I don't know if it's shocking, but it's what we have to understand is if we're going to be a good team, which we should be, then we're going to have to be able to defend. At an elite level, and we're more than capable, but we've got to have the mindset that no matter what, we got to defend whether we're scoring or not scoring.
You sound a little hoarse. Fighting something?
What's that?
Sickness? You sounded hoarse.
Yeah, I don't feel very good.
Steven, your pick and roll defense, are your defenders on the ball handlers staying connected enough to their guy, and are they doing a good enough job?
They didn't the other night. That was the biggest problem, yeah.
And are they doing a good enough job avoiding getting hit by screens?
No. They were until the other night, yeah. Listen, just so you guys know, nothing is ever a given in sport. We are good at that. I'd say compared to most teams, we're way above average. Yeah, that's the way it works. And the key is to get consistency. But no, the other night we weren't. Most nights we are.
How is a defender on the ball there supposed to? What techniques should he employ to avoid a Sabonis or?
Simply put, you got to get in the ball and you have to gauge whether or not you can get around the screen or not. Like if you can't beat them over the screen, then you just maneuver your way through it.
Philly obviously plays tonight, but how much of their size gives teams problems? Their size at every position.
Yeah, huge. They're great defensively, and they're physical. They're big. So yeah.
How did on reviewing film? How did Terrence look in his?
I thought really good, and I asked him today. He felt good. He looked a lot more fluid and stuff today.
Was he on a minutes limit?
We'll see. Tomorrow we talk after the shoot run.
So what kind of things do you do to battle like the strength of Embiid inside his field?
Well, you can't. You gotta have schemes. You can't just guard him one-on-one.
I saw something you said the other day about Markelle that in 30 games from now he'll be a totally different player than he is now. Have you seen him make those strides?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
How so? Where have you seen him make the biggest
Well,
strides?
I think to me, as much as anything, it's just getting in rhythm. Such a talented player, and just hasn't played much for 2 years.
So you said he's still dealing with some soreness and some limitations. That's why you have to kind of limit his minutes, right?
Absolutely.
Overall, maybe Sunday excluded, but overall, what are you working on defensively to continue to get this team better on that end? You said you have to be a lead at that end, but what more do they have to do? What more do you want to see them do?
Well, I think our better games are when we create more turnovers. The other night we had 33 deflections, which just goes to show you're not into the ball. So I would say that's the biggest thing.
One question readers have is, why do your centers sometimes often play in a drop? In other words, if they hadn't been in a drop, would it have been as easy for say, McConnell to shoot some of those pull-up jumpers? What's the thought process behind positioning for Vooch and Mo playing as far back as they do?
Well, it's the best way to defend by the numbers. By playing in the drop. The other night, for instance, it all works together. Those guys didn't get pull-up jumpers because they were in the drop. They got pull-up jumpers because we did a terrible job on the ball. So that's an unknowing statement, okay? You play in a drop because with all the shooting on the floor, simply put, The more they're up towards the ball, the more you're going to have to be in rotation. It's simple. The more you can guard it 2-on-2, which is determined by how far back the 5-man is, then the less you can come at, the other 3 guys. So if you look at, well, it's actually not even close. Even switching, drop is by far in the high pick and rolls in the middle. It's by far the coverage that makes the most sense.
Part of the rationale there too that you protect the rim and give up. If you're going to give up an open shot,
yes.
You'd rather give up a mid-range shot or a difficult floater on the run.
100%. You make so it's free throws, layups, and threes. The drop helps you immensely on all of those. If you're up more, number one is they're going to dribble around your 5 men more. Okay, if you're up more, then actually, I mean, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, no, there's not many teams that play up more, and if they do, they have incredible athleticism at every position, or otherwise their 3-point defense is going to be like awful.
Thank you.
Thanks.